My first participation was in 1979. I joined the University of Bordeaux as an assistant at that time. At that time, it was quite easy to have a permanent position. I had a position for 1 year before, and I did not start to make any research. I started only in '69. There were many young professors in number theory and assistant and people starting research. And in '69, in October, the university organized the fifth Journée arithmétique. And so I contributed to the participation. I was in charge of the social dinner, which was an interesting experience in Bordeaux, which is a place where the dinner is very good. And so after that, 3 years later, I got a position in Paris, and my colleagues in Bordeaux told me, oh, now you should organize the Journée arithmétique in Paris. And I was not so keen of doing that because you know, to organize the Journée arithmétique involves a lot of time, and I prefer to do some research. And so what I did is that I contacted several colleagues in other universities, and I told them, would you like to organize the Journée arithmétique? And many of them said yes. And so when the people from Bordeaux told me, so do you organize them? I said, no, there are some other colleagues who want to organize them in their university. And so this is how I started to choose to select the location of the Journée arithmétique. It was as long as that in '72. And so I continue to do that. And when someone wants to organize some Journée arithmétique, people know that they have to speak with me. And for example, I contacted Gabor Wiese for the organization of this one. And for the next one, I asked in France, because they are alternatively in France and in abroad, I contacted all the colleagues, and I got a positive answer from Bordeaux. So the next one will take place in Bordeaux. Yes, there are many things that we can say to young people. I teach in many countries, and I like to see the young people and to encourage them. So there are many things, and what I could say is that there is a balance which is not so easy to have when the students work on the research problem. They have to spend a lot of time on this problem, but they need also to know a lot of mathematics. So to attend the Journée arithmétique like this is a very good opportunity for them to know topics in number theory which are different from their own interests. When they face some difficulties, they should not be discouraged, because the beginning of research is difficult. We are stuck very often. And so this is an advice that André Weil wrote and gave to young people, to have several iron in the fire, if you say it, avoir plusieurs fers au feu, which means that to have a single problem may not be the optimal solution. If you have several problems which are related, then you can solve one and not the one that you wanted to solve. This was my case when I started to do research. The first problem which I solved was not the one I was looking for, but I found that the idea that I had did not work for my problem, but it worked for another problem. And for my research students, very often I suggested them to work on a problem, and we cannot do research abstractly. We need to work on something open, and most often they did not solve the problem that I asked them, but they solved something else. The problem that my thesis advisor asked me, the Leopold's conjecture on the p-adic rank of the units, he asked me this problem in '69 at the time of the first Journée arithmétique, and it is still open. One which I think is the most efficient, all are very, very efficient, but the one which I prefer is the one from the International Mathematical Union. I was a member of the Committee for Developing Countries for several years, and now I am still involved in a program which is called GRADE, Graduate Research Assistantship in Developing Countries. And this is a program which I like very much. The idea is that we do not want the students from developing countries to go abroad and do a PhD, because very often they will not come back to their country. And so the idea is that Locally, they have a professor, a mathematician of a sufficiently high level. And this mathematician, which is the principal investigator, as we say, has an international partner in developed countries. And both of them supervise the students, and the students stays in the country. And the money which is involved for that, which is given by this great program and the IMU, International Mathematical Union, is not very high. It's something like $3,000 US per year. But this allows the student to spend all his time to do research, to work on his PhD, and not to waste time to have some job just for living expenses. So this great program would be my answer, my favorite.